holidays, Detroit. We're so happy to be back with you this year.
This special is one of the few occasions where we're able to get almost the entire Fox 2 family together.
To celebrate one of our favorite seasons, share some stories and a few memories.
And a lot of laughs, too. We hope that you're having a wonderful holiday.
And we hope you enjoy the next hour.
I remember distinctly the holiday season of December 1990 because I was getting sent to Desert Storm as a young first lieutenant in the Air Force. And I went from Syracuse Airport to Philadelphia Airport on US Air. And I remember getting to the counter and the nice young lady checked me in with all of my bags. I had weather gear and I had clothes and I had a gun and I had ammunition. And so I had to talk to the pilot before I got on the plane because he said, Lieutenant, I'm going to keep your ammunition for this short flight to Philadelphia, but when we get there, I'll give it back to you, and then you'll be on your way. So when we're flying from Syracuse to Philadelphia, he comes on the speaker, the pilot does, and he says, we want to wish everyone a happy holiday season, everyone be safe. And sitting in row 16A, we want to wish all the best to Lieutenant Rich Luderman, who's on his way overseas. And here's this airplane full of people clapping. And I remember turning red. I could feel my heart beating. And it caught me, that moment caught me off guard. I wasn't ready to be this person on the airplane where people are clapping and attaboys. And it was something I'll never forget.
On Christmas Eve, I always have my kids. So we have dinner. We often have friends over, and we've kind of turned it into our own holiday tradition where we just hang out with the neighbors. We have some spirits, and we have some food, and we have Christmas cheer, and then we go to church in the evening. And last year, we all got these 3 matching Carhartt hats, and we took this picture, and I just remember feeling such a great sense of joy and pride because we had created our own tradition, because sometimes the holidays aren't easy for everybody, and when families split up, it's different.
So one of my best memories as a kid with my family is every year we would go out and cut our own Christmas tree down, and I loved it. It was kind of the start of the holiday season for me. So it was Mom, Dad, me, my 3 sisters, and we would go out to some local tree farm. And Dad would cut it down and he'd haul it back. And I loved it. We would go inside where we would get hot chocolate and Santa would be there. And it was one of my best memories. So then when I started having kids, I thought, well, I got to do this too. But I never realized until I became dad how much work that is. To go trudging through the snow, which was fun when you were a kid, and then it's a different type of memory as an adult. But then when you get that tree cut down and you hold it up, and the kids take a look at it and they just smile because they know that they're going to go get their hot chocolate and then they're going to go sit on Santa's lap, and it's just a whole different way to view it, and they're both awesome.
The people love my mac and cheese. What do you want? What do you want? They love it.
There is no holiday get-together that's worth it if macaroni and cheese is not in the mix.
5, 7 different cheeses. I'm the person who makes it every holiday. But no goat cheese. Do not put goat cheese and macaroni and cheese. Don't ever do it. Trust me.
It's not Christmas until I'm eating cheesy potatoes.
The crock pot will be on and the mashed potatoes will be cooking, and I'll just walk by and eat a spoonful of mashed potatoes all throughout the day. And so people are kind of like, why do we have pretty much no mashed potatoes by the time the meal actually happens?
Green bean casserole.
And it has to be like the cheapo stuff. The cheapo beans, the cheapo soup, and the cheapo crunchy onions.
I always want seconds and thirds of it because it reminds me of my growing up.
I want it processed and I want to taste every single bad ingredient that's in there.
Whether it's the stuffing, the turkey and the ham and the fried chicken, and I mean those like greens and macaroni and cheese. I mean, just thinking about it, I see it and I'm hungry right now.
I get up after we open Christmas gifts every year and I say goodbye to everybody, and I go into the kitchen and leave me alone, and I make lasagna.
The tradition in our family, at least for my father and for me, is to have spaghetti and meatballs on Christmas Day. Spaghetti and meatballs.
Pasta bacala, the calamari and the pasta, which we squid. Those are my favorite. We dressed up, we danced, and it was about family, food, and then just the celebration in general. It's really my most favorite time of the year.
Christmas early 80s. Christmas Eve was always at my grandparents'. The long drive up north, it was always snowing. It was always festive. We're down in the basement, and then we turn around, we're little kids, and we see Santa Claus coming right out of the chimney. We all freak out. He runs upstairs. We're going crazy because we're not supposed to see Santa, and then we see him. We go upstairs. He's gone and leaves presents for all the kids. I get underoos. I'm very excited. They weren't Superman underoos. They were Robin from Batman and Robin, but still, I had them on over my Christmas sweater. I was pretty proud of them, and who doesn't want underoos on Christmas?
I just got married, so I have a feeling that this holiday season is going to be memorable. It is the first time I am a wife, which is very weird to say, and a stepmom. My husband has 2 boys, 14 and 16, so this is the first holiday we will be one big blended family. So it's not exactly how you picture things going, it's not the cookie cutter, but honestly I couldn't imagine spending the holidays in any other way now. So I'm very excited. This is probably going to be the best holiday yet.
My huge, enormous family, we congregate in my grandma's 500 square foot basement, and it is my mom, 6 of her siblings, all of their spouses. They all have about 20 kids roughly. Their spouses and kids jam-packed. Santa comes down the stairs, and we just have a huge Christmas bash in the basement.
I love to drive down Woodward, just seeing it lit up.
I do love going downtown this time of year.
I like Campus Martius.
I mean, Campus Martius is the best.
When Campus Martius puts that tree up, we are all ready.
That holiday tree is so beautiful.
I love the holiday lights, but it has to be ice skating in Campus Martius Park.
Seeing the big tree and going down there, putting on the skates.
Just seeing people out there enjoying themselves, enjoying the Christmas spirit. I get a lot of energy from that.
I feel like who's in Whoville, you know, because we're all sitting there singing and having a good time, and that really brings in the holiday spirit.
It's funny though, because Mom and Dad love going down there. I don't know if Lydia and Luke love going down there.
Are you guys just hanging out? You don't even want to go on the ice, do you?
Christmas tree is lit up, you can have some hot cocoa, and it's just always been a great time.
Plus the new Cadillac Lodge makes it feel like a ski lodge as well.
I kind of like driving around and you just see the stores decorated with Christmas.
It just signifies that this is the time of year to get excited about being together, because that's really what it's all about. And this year hopefully we'll be able to have more of that.
It's a definite must-do.
When we moved from Kentucky to Michigan to come home, we started kind of thinking about things that we could do in that vein and traditions that we wanted to start with the family. And one of those being Frankenmuth and Bronner's and Christmas year-round. So we were like, let's all go down there and we'll all pick out an ornament. We'll spend the whole day there. We'll get to see Santa that whole 9 and pick out some ornaments, some things that are kind of encompassing what happened in that year. And one of them being commemorating the year I got hired, 2014. So I picked out a little microphone here and had them inscribe Fox 2 on it. So we all hang these on the tree, you know, and it gives us a chance to reminisce about, you know, years past and kind of see the progression of what the kids were into, what we were into. And another kind of cool one that stood out to me was the year I flew, and I did this here at Fox 2 with the Blue Angels. Ornaments are really cool, and they tell it. Each of them kind of can tell a story if you make them meaningful.
My mom thought that it would be a good idea to get us some pets for Christmas, and my sister had been begging my mom for small creatures, bunnies, hamsters. I think maybe she had chickadees in there at one point, but my mom relented, got us these bunnies. I did not want them. I'm just not a pet person, I guess. But we get the 2 bunnies, and my mom's philosophy has always been that if you get a pet, you don't want to have them alone. You want them to be together. So the 2 male bunnies that she thought she got were actually clearly a male and a female. So we ended up with a few more bunnies.
Happy holidays, Detroit. It's trivia time. Which Fox 2 on-air personality was a competitive water ski show performer? The answer when we return. Fox 2 on-air personality was a competitive water ski show performer. Taryn Asher.
So I am the water ski, show skier. I grew up on a lake and I used to climb pyramids. I used to do doubles. I used to do ballet lines where you see everybody and put your toe in there and turn around. But I haven't done it in many, many years.
Downtown Rochester, there's no place like it.
Downtown Rochester is beyond our favorite place.
Every storefront building is covered with hundreds of thousands. I believe there could be over 1 million lights there.
It's a really cool deal to walk around, even drive through, you can get that done.
When I first moved to Michigan, we lived in Rochester. So we'd all pile up in the car and go see all of the lights.
And that's kind of the one place where we all congregate. We, of course, walk around and look at the lights, and then we have dinner, and we have dessert, and we have hot chocolate and everything.
It really has its own kind of festive atmosphere.
Last year, in between our live shots, I got to go upstairs and get a behind-the-scenes look at how the lights work, and they even let me turn them on.
To actually go to downtown Rochester and see these mom and pop shops all take part in this awesome thing. We grab our coffees and we go just walking.
And it is so beautiful, so perfect, and I think one of the best places to celebrate the holidays in Metro Detroit.
So kudos to Rochester for doing it right.
In 2014, we took a big family trip to New York City right around the holiday season, and it was magical. It was me, my husband, the 3 kids, my parents, and my brother, and all of us just walking around the city. We went ice skating. We went to FAO Schwartz. We went to see the Rockettes at Radio City Music Hall. We were all together as a family among millions of other families all together, and something about that was really magical. And the funny thing is, I had promised my husband, because we had a long drive home after we flew back to Ohio from that trip, and I said, don't worry, I'll stay up with you. If you do the drive home, the long drive home to Michigan. We landed at the airport. I was so tired from walking all over the city. I fell asleep in the parking lot before we even got out of the airport driveway.
Looking back and remembering my childhood, just my brother and I were so close, and running to the living room Christmas morning and seeing all the gifts, and at the time you never realized how lucky you were. But just looking back, you feel how fortunate you were that Santa Claus came to the house every single year. My brother and I were always huge football fans, huge sports fans, and I remember getting these football costumes, and we would go at it hard. I was the Cowboys, he was the 49ers, or I was the 49ers, he was the Cowboys. I don't really remember, but we got those helmets, and we didn't take those helmets off for a long, long time. I think we ate dinner with those helmets on.
The holiday food for me is always that peppermint ice cream.
I'm probably going to get in trouble saying we have Christmas wine. And Christmas, that usually gets kick it up a notch. Santa Claus would be proud of the wine that we have.
Chocolate cake with the chocolate icing, the way my mama used to make it. Nothing else. I don't need no whipped cream. I don't need no sprinkles.
Sweet potato pie. It's sweet, a little bit spicy, it's very creamy. It goes well with caramel ice cream.
The Jubilee roll. It is like a holiday dessert that you would get on the East Coast. There's a restaurant and ice cream shop called Friendly's. That is my absolute favorite.
We are still a cookie family, and I do some candies. I make a really wickedly good chocolate toffee.
I eat a lot of cookies. And the problem is there's so many different kinds of cookies.
Sugar cookies. So as soon as I see a Santa or a snowman sugar cookie, the number one thing that tells me it's time.
I just remember when I was a little girl, we'd always go to see my grandpa and grandma, and my grandpa would read us a book the night before Christmas, and then we'd have to remember what was in the book, and we'd get $1 for every question that we answered correctly. And I was so competitive that I always had to chime up and be the first one to answer.
I spend a lot of Christmas Eves at my brother-in-law's house. In fact, last year we were all outside in front of the fire drinking hot cocoa, and we had hats and gloves on, and it was really cool because my niece and nephew have come in. It's usually my wife's side of the family. So it's a fun time, and it starts early and ends late. We play games, we have a party type of food, and all that kind of stuff. It's very cool on Christmas Eve.
So my dad has always been a photographer by his own trade. He was never professionally trained, but he loves taking pictures. And every single Christmas, he would dress my brother and I up, and his Christmas photo shoots were an event in and of themselves. He had to work through us being toddlers and growing up and us sometimes not really wanting to be there all the time, but he always made it so special for us. So now when he takes his pictures, I'm really, really appreciative of them, whereas when you're a toddler, you don't want to do those kinds of things. So now I absolutely love it, and it's my favorite holiday memory.
My all-time favorite Christmas gift, the one that I wanted more than anything, was this Game Boy. This exact one. And I remember when I opened this up, there was never a happier moment. Do we have to finish this, or can I just keep playing?
The year Home Alone 2 came out, and they had the Talk Boy and the Talk Girl. I got the Talk Girl. It was pink and purple. I remember I would change my voice, try to do pranks on people like they did in the movie. But that also, I think, is where I heard my first Marielle news anchor voice.
It's always the Easy Bake Oven. It's just a little light bulb that cooks a cake, but I was a darn good Easy Bake Oven chef.
There was this one year that there was this giant cylinder, and that was just so strange out there in the middle of the living room, and we were like, what in the world is that? What did Santa bring? So we got and kind of go at that one first. It turned out to be a punching bag, so it became the gift that kept on giving.
My now husband proposed to me a couple weeks before Christmas. I would say that's my favorite gift.
I had a picture of my mother, who has passed. It got knocked over and it broke. My daughter took the picture, she reframed it, and gave it to me as a gift. And that is truly like the best gift I've ever gotten as an adult.
For me, the greatest gift has been time.
And nothing has shined a greater light on that than this COVID-19 pandemic.
That has become so much more significant. I don't need presents, I don't need food, I don't need anything but a big warm hug from my friends and family.
Like, you get a little emotional because it's so exciting to think about, oh my God, we get to be together again. If they're vaccinated, if they can get together.
When I was a little boy, I remember a Christmas waking up to find toys all around the Christmas tree, all over the sofa, around the house. I was blessed. I was an only child. But my favorite gift as a 4-year-old boy was a football uniform, a helmet that fit perfectly around my little head, a uniform complete with shoulder pads and knee pads, and I was ready to go out there and score a touchdown. Looking back on my favorite gift as a child, and I'm thinking, well, maybe the same will be true for my sons. Completely different. When my kids were old enough to enjoy Christmas, they were excited about Hot Wheels and race cars. They loved playing with those cars hours on hours. And to this day, we have about 600 Hot Wheels in my basement.
We place so much emphasis on decorating that tree. It had to be a real tree, no fake trees. We had to go out and chop it down, kind of old school style. And then all my siblings and I would just spend all night decorating it. It was a big deal. And we each have a bulb with our name on it that our grandma, our late grandmother, got for us. And still today, the siblings' goal is to have your bulb the highest on the Christmas tree. So my 35-year-old brother is walking in, with his 3 kids when I'm not there, and taking my bulb and putting it at the very bottom, still to this day. So that is the tradition. If you're at Mom and Dad's house, you take the bulb with your name on it and you put it at the very top.
Happy Holidays, Detroit. Here's another trivia question. Which Fox 2 on-air personality once rolled the Chevy Astro van they were driving, only to have it land perfectly back on its wheels, and was able to drive off? The answer when we return. Fox 2 on-air personality once rolled the Chevy Astro van they were driving, only to have it land perfectly back on its wheels, and was able to drive off. Alan Longstreet.
So I was 16, and I flipped my white Astro minivan in the snow, landed on the wheels, and drove off. We were fine, and we made it to the basketball game, which we lost.
We go to Tim Hortons and get some hot chocolates, and we do the drive along Hines Drive for the Wayne County Light Fest.
I love driving Hines Drive. I think it's awesome.
Any light display, but really that one just sticks out.
The day it opens is such a magical day for me. I usually go live when Wayne County Light Fest, all the lights pop on down Hines Drive. It's tradition. I wear this scarf every year for Wayne County Light Fest.
You put the holiday music on, you ride through. Sometimes you have to go through twice, because there's so many things to look at.
For those 15 minutes there, it just takes us back to a time when the kids were small, but even at this point in their lives, we can still enjoy it.
We also like just getting in the car and driving around looking at Christmas lights.
We just go drive around the neighborhoods, like every night for about an hour.
I get my kids and we get in the car and we look at Christmas lights and we listen to Christmas songs.
We do the zoo lights, the Christmas lights that they do at the zoo. We're members of the zoo.
I love Christmas lights. That is my favorite thing to do.
I do remember when I was young, Santa came to visit us before he went out on his journey around the world. And my sister Amber and I remember we just looked at him like he was the most magical person. And he visited us, and we had this picture of us putting our hands out like, oh my gosh, and what do you have for us, I'm sure. And then Santa visited us on Christmas Eve, and he walked in the door, and Gia, my daughter, and Bryce, my niece, stood there just deadpan, couldn't believe that Santa was walking the door. It was so magical for them, and I remember that moment thinking, you know, we were able to continue that special feeling that they'll have for the rest of their lives as well.
The gift that means the most to me is this star necklace. I wear it every day. It was a gift from Dina Centofanti. She brought them for all the ladies here at the station the year that Jessica Starr passed away. And we wear them every day in her honor. I still talk to her family. I'm close to her mom, close to her husband. I check on the kids. I also have the star tattoo. But this necklace is a way for me to carry Jessica with me.
To me, the song that says it's Christmas time is Feliz Navidad.
That song and that song alone.
Is there any answer other than Mariah Carey?
Ooh, Mariah Carey.
I don't want a lot for Christmas.
You hear those first notes and you're like, oh, she's about to belt it out right now.
My favorite Christmas song of all time is the Christmas song.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. What's up, girls? Just kidding, just kidding.
Jack Frost nipping at your nose. That could be Michigan anytime up through April.
Donny Hathaway's This Christmas, Nat King Cole, and maybe a toss-up between Mariah Carey, A Holy Night, and The Temptations, In My Mind, right?
A Wonderful Christmas Time, Paul McCartney. Huge fan.
I like this obscure song by the band, Christmas Must Be Tonight, and a lot of people probably have never heard it. It's a great Christmas song, and everybody should listen to it, and it should be everybody's favorite.
Linus and Lucy. I see Schroeder on the piano, Pigpen doing his thing, and most of all, I see this guy in a yellow shirt. To this day, people go, that dude in the yellow shirt, he is killing it on the dance floor.
2 years ago, we go to, for Christmas, we go to my wife's family's side. And so we go to her grandparents, and we stay at her grandparents' house. And they have a lot of trinkets, a lot of like things that are fragile that, you know, little kids shouldn't be around. And I have these two twin brutes, and they like, they just go everywhere, and they do what they want. And then my wife got sick. And so it was me and the two twins, and then the big kid. I think it was Christmas Day. And we had our party scheduled for the afternoon, so it's just me in the morning with them, outmanned, outgunned. It was a mess, but you don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. And so you get them in the car because they're strapped in there, and then you just drive. So we ended up, short story long, going to Meijer, but it was closed, and so we just went to the parking lot, and I just pushed them around the parking lot in carts. I didn't intend to. I didn't mean to bring them there, but that's where we ended up. And it made for an event.
Happy holidays, Detroit. How well do you know us? Which Fox 2 On-Air personality was the captain of their high school table tennis team? The answer when we return. Fox 2 On-Air personality was the captain of their high school table tennis team. Rich Luderman.
That's right. In my youth, I played table tennis. 1983 in Pittsburgh, I was the captain of our table tennis team. We won the Western Pennsylvania Championship, beating Central Catholic in the big tournament. And it shocked the table tennis world.
Thanks again for spending part of your holiday with us.
We always love to hear from you. Just use the hashtag Happy Holidays Detroit on Twitter.
And now here's more from the Fox 2 family.
I would say when we first moved here, we didn't have any family, we didn't have any real traditions, and one of the first things we did was to go to see the Rockettes at the Fox Theater. And our daughters were young, they were just getting into dance, they absolutely loved it. My son was kind of along for the ride. My wife and I just both enjoyed the scenery, the music, the holiday feel and all that. And I think if you ask my kids now, they'd tell you it was one of the greatest things ever, not because of anything they remember about the show, but just every intermission, they would pull out this amazing candy buffet. And that's what my kids would remember about that.
My favorite thing to do on Christmas morning now is to just sit back at a table on a couch, have a cup of coffee, and just watch my kids. Like, I just love to see their reactions as they attack the gifts, the big smiles on their faces, their eyes that light up. And then it's amazing to see how quickly they can stack them and like rip them open, and it's gone in record time. And you know, I think that's probably one of the things that I most look forward to this coming Christmas too, is just getting to see the joy on my kids' faces, because it has been such a stressful past couple of years. They've had a lot going on, so I just cannot wait to just see them happy and being kids as they're supposed to be.
Popeyes does a turkey. A lot of people don't know about it, so I may be giving away this secret. Oh well, you know, it's the giving season, right? I mean, I wake up in the middle of the night and I find myself in the kitchen getting seconds and thirds and fourths.
The Luderman tradition is, it's the prime rib. It's the prime rib, it's the smell, it's all the trimmings.
My mom always used to be standing over the stove doing a pot of meatballs, and they were never homemade, but I didn't know that and I didn't care. And now I do meatballs or I buy them, and my kids don't care that they're not homemade. It's just kind of a thing.
My mom was really big on Cornish hens because they're easy to cook. A little celery, a little onion, little bell peppers in there, you're good to go.
Okay, don't judge me. This is a judge. We make tofurkey. I've never had meat, so tofurkey to me, and probably only me, really says holiday time. And it doesn't look like a turkey, it's like a round ball. And if you're a meat eater, you're not gonna look twice at it, so more for me.
You've got your turkeys, your hams, your Christmas fixings and all that, gravy, all the sides.
I love a good medium rare beef tenderloin. Gotta have it. You can make sandwiches the next day. You can eat it however you want. Beef tenderloin, the way to go.
If you get a good old-fashioned honey-baked ham, say no more. Bring it to the table, and that spells and smells like holidays for me.
My sister and I, Portia, she is a goofball, I'm a goofball when we get together. And so there was a few years ago, I was working here at Fox 2, the early morning show. I got to my mom's house. I was dog tired. I was beat. So I'm lying on the couch, I take a nap, and she just starts posing all over me, just blowing kisses and this and that. I mean, the drool is coming down from my chin. And I wake up, I'm like, Portia, what are you doing? And she just, Josh, what are you doing? Wake up. It's Christmas. We gotta hang out. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. Girl, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Picture this. I'm 4 years old, and my parents have been telling me it's time for you to get your holiday portrait done. And I'm really excited because I get to put on my little velvet trim dress and travel down to the department store. And I'm thinking, okay, I can do this, but my sister did cry on hers. But my mom said, just be your happy self. Just get in there and do it. So I get up on the pedestal and I sit there, and the photographer says, are you ready? And I say, yes. And here's the result. And we still take our little holiday pictures, but we trade in our Christmas finery for Christmas PJs.
Happy Holidays, Detroit. Here's another trivia question. 2 drum majors in the same anchor desk? Which Fox 2 duo were both field commanders for their respective high school marching bands? The answer when we return. Drum majors in the same anchor desk? Which Fox 2 duo were both field commanders for their respective high school marching bands? Huel Perkins and Monica Gayle.
I was the drum major for my high school marching band, Wenatchee High School Panthers. I also know Huel was too.
It's true. I tried out for the football team. They said I was too skinny, so I became the leader of the band. I was the drum major for my high school band.
We were both drum majors. Isn't that weird?
Say like maybe early 2000s or so, PlayStation 2 was very popular, and I come downstairs and that was the one thing that I wanted, under the tree. Wasn't there. I look over at my mom and she has this grin on her face, and I'm like, what you laughing about? And she says, go into the living room and look behind the couch. I go there and I look, and there it was. And you know, ever since then, she's always found ways to kind of top the hidden Christmas gift. So right when you think Christmas gift giving is over, she always finds a way to outdo herself. And so I kind of do that now with my wife and my kids. Now my kids are a little too young for that, but I know that when they get older, that's something that I want to, a tradition that I want to pass down.
You know, growing up, my family, we would always go to New York for the Christmas holiday. And we would see my dad's family in New York and my mom's family in New Jersey. And it was always just so much fun going there. The lights, the sounds, the action of Times Square, of course, any Broadway show we were able to take in. And then, of course, going across the river and being with my mom's family in New Jersey. But now, after COVID, although all those times are still so special to me, I know now just being at home and being able to embrace my loved ones, that's magical too.
I think the best holiday song ever is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas from Frank Sinatra, from this album.
I love Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, but I think it's the Pretenders rendition. It's kind of jazzy.
It's the holiday season. Andy Williams. My favorite holiday tune that, kind of says, hey, it's here, Christmas is here, is It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. It's literally in the song.
I like when Bing Crosby and David Bowie are doing their rendition of, what is it? I'm trying to think. You know what I'm talking about? Remember the old MTV video, Little Drummer Boy? Ba-rum-pa-bum-bum, me and my drum. I love it. Hits me right there every time.
I love it when I'm driving around with the kids looking at some of the Christmas lights, and it's fantastic whenever White Christmas comes on, especially if there's just a couple of flakes falling down.
You know, I do like Someday at Christmas by Stevie Wonder. This Christmas, Donny Hathaway. Santa Claus is Coming by James Brown. I like that one too.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. There's a million songs, but that one gets to me. I feel like that should be the first song every year.
I must have been in college, and I was home in Michigan City, Indiana. We would always have Christmas there with my aunts and uncles and cousins, of course my parents and my brother, and it happened to be a really warm Christmas that year, and we went to the beach. And my Uncle Tom started doing this little family chant. We don't mess around, huh? I have no idea why, but we all thought it was hilariously funny, and so we all started joining in, running around the beach, yelling this little family chant, and we have this cute picture to, show for our Christmas at the beach in Michigan City, Indiana.
There's this one specific Christmas where my mom and my sisters made sure that we all got together, and it was the only time we have all been in the same spot, meaning my brothers, my sisters, and their children, and my mother. And we all got to meet in Virginia at my mom's house. She was so excited, and now that my mom has passed and she's watching our Christmases from above, it's one of those, I'm glad we did that thing.
Christmas at our house was great because my brothers, I'm the oldest, I have a brother a year younger than me, and a brother 2 years younger than me, and we would all not sleep that whole night. And then we would go into our parents' room and say, hey, is Santa Claus there yet? We thought we heard him. We thought we heard him. And so we would get him up, and of course it wouldn't be. We'd have to wait some more. But then we'd all be at the top of the stairs and then run down the stairs to see what Santa Claus got us. And there would be a tree there with presents, and there'd be presents on the piano, which we would start, and then we'd start to unwrap them and all. It was just a very festive time. I had a great Christmas growing up.
Happy holidays, Detroit. Here's another trivia question. Which Fox 2 on-air personality spent 3 years of their childhood living in Africa? The answer when we return. Which Fox 2 on-air personality spent 3 years of their childhood living in Africa? Lee Thomas.
We moved to Africa when I was probably 1 or 2. We were there for 3 years in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa. And it was strange because as a kid, I wasn't in this culture. So coming back over here was the education. Because in Africa, my dad was an officer, so we had officers' quarters, which was a house. We had a maid, we had a day guard and a night guard. We had 2 horses. And then we come back to the States and we live in an apartment. And I'm like, Mom, I thought we were rich. What is that? We're not, okay, it's cool, it's all good.
There's so much to do in Metro Detroit around the holiday season.
I have to say, we used to love going to the mall.
Somerset collection first, so I can do the shopping, of course, for other people and not myself.
It's the mall, it's the holidays, it's Santa, it's the music, it's the vibe of the holiday season that I really enjoy.
Malls tend to ask me to come out and welcome Santa.
Knowing that I'm about to open up a bunch of gifts and later on that night see a bunch of family members and eat some good food, that in and of itself is like, it's become everything to me.
The song that I must hear to kick off the holiday season, Donny Hathaway, This Christmas.
Baby Gets Cold Outside. Love that song.
And really, the Mitch Miller in the band, I think that, how could you go wrong with that? Everyone likes that one, right?
Probably simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
I do have to say, Here Comes Santa Claus makes me smile. Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Here comes Santa Claus.
For us, it's Blue Christmas. It is really that song that when I hear it, screams Christmas to me.
Better Days by the Goo Goo Dolls. At first glance, you wouldn't realize it's a holiday song, but if you listen to the lyrics, it's all about how instead of having normal gifts, you would rather just see the world come together and really taking a second to reflect and start over.
This is maybe a little bit of a rare one, but I do feel like it's increasing in popularity, but it's Dean Martin's Marshmallow World. It's a marshmallow world in the winter when the snow... No, nobody? All right.
The first thing that happens when summer wraps up and the cold weather rolls in, everyone complains and says, oh, here we go, it's gonna be cold, it's gonna be fall and winter. For me, that's like the sign of the best times to come because I got to celebrate not one holiday, but 2. In November, as soon as it got cool outside, boom, there was Diwali, which is the Hindu festival of lights, and then followed by that, my parents said, let's celebrate Christmas too. So I got 2 holidays in one. So for me, cold weather was a sign of good things to come.
When I was a kid, my brother and I, every year, we wanted Rock'em Sock'em Robots. They used to have the commercials on the TV, and you knock the guy and you say, you knocked my block off! And so every year my brother and I would ask for Rock'em Sock'em Robots for Christmas. And then we never got Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Look it, see, this is it. I mean, how much could Rock'em Sock'em Robots have cost? All right, here we go. Man, I would have been a happy kid if I had these. We got nice presents and stuff, but we never got Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and I still haven't gotten over the fact that I haven't gotten Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Happy holidays, Detroit. And here's our last question. Which Fox 2 on-air personality has a mirror-identical twin? Which Fox 2 on-air personality has a mirror-identical twin? Michael Estime.
I sure do have a mirror identical twin brother, and what that means is that I'm right-handed, he's left-handed, I have birthmarks on one side of my body, it's on the exact opposite side of his body, my right eye is stronger, his left eye is stronger, it's awesome to be a mirror identical twin.
Last year, COVID changed so much for so many people, and it's a reminder too of how important family is.
I think it just made us appreciate the freedom that we have more and the freedom that we lost because of everything that was going on.
It kept us home, which was harder in some ways and better in other ways.
We kind of stayed in. There wasn't the big family get together for Christmas dinner like we normally have.
It was very odd, and the thing that I think missed the most last year was like being able to curl up on the couch with your family and just those intimate family moments.
It made me say, let me bring the holiday more so in. So I started decorating before Thanksgiving. I mean, every room in my house was decorated. If you went to the bathroom, Santa was in there looking at you.
We also started using video and started talking to each other with video, which was something very different. You know, like I don't want to see my brother in his underwear, but it was good to see my brother, you know?
There was nothing that was going to stop my family and I getting together, and we did one enormous Christmas Day Zoom call, myself and like 50 of us.
The small group we had was outside, so, you know, COVID concerns really didn't come in to play.
Cookie Day at our house, it kind of stopped. Of course, you can't really stop Cookie Day, COVID or not. It went on, but not in the massive amounts of Cookie Day like we would have.
Because of COVID, my family couldn't get together. So instead of letting some of the food traditions die, what my mom did is she packed up 4 families worth of food, all of the traditional stuff that we do every single year, and she drove it and put it on the front porch of everybody's house. And we brought it inside, and then we all FaceTime together, eating all the stuff that we normally eat together, separately, but together.
I feel like Christmas was the first time that things were a little bit more normal, but much smaller, but everything felt better. Food tasted better. There seemed to be more gifts. Everyone seemed to be pretty happy. It felt way more special than any Christmas of the past.
I think if anything, it served to make us realize what we have, what we can lose, and what we want to keep.
Well, we haven't run out of memories, but we have run out of time.
From all of us here at Fox 2, thanks for watching today.
And thanks for watching all year long.
Happy holidays, Detroit.
It's literally scribbled on my mirror at home. It is that we have 4,000 weeks on average on this earth, so every day is a present.
Let it snow. I mean, that's so simple, right? You can't control things that you can't control. Be patient. You got to let things come to you. You just need to take a breath and just let it snow.
Stop and smell the roses. I know it's an oldie, it's a classic, but I think especially during COVID when we were at home and quarantine, we had to really kind of focus on what we had and what we were doing and appreciate what was around us.
The one quote that I really fall back on is Joe DiMaggio, who said, you know, always give your best because there may be some kid in the stadium who's seeing you for the first time, and he deserves to see your best.
Do unto others as you would like done unto you. I think that's really important right now, just to have kindness.
You will become the thing you think you are. That's a quote that, I don't know, some smart person made, and I like it.
It's all under control. I think we're in the business of trying to, you know, do this and do that, and it's always on a time frame, and we got to get it done. But you know what? We don't have to be in control of everything.
It was a little plaque that sat on the desk of John F. Kennedy, and it says, "O God, thy sea is so great, and my boat is so small." It puts things into perspective with the lives that we lead.
Life is the gift. And I like that quote because it reminds me that in each moment you have the opportunity to make your life something better. And in each moment you can define and redefine yourself. And so you have to remember that life is that precious gift that you have to make what you want out of it.
10% of life is what happens to you. 90% is how you react. And I think around the holidays it's important to remember that because people get so stressed out. And just, the older you get, I think you find perspective more so in life. And I think that resonates throughout the holiday season.